Now, before I dive into anything, yes, I understand my hair is chopped. I will be getting it fixed later on this week. Don't mind it, just ignore it. But basically this video is how to avoid the sin of greed. And typically, I know I talk about some things that are self-improvement, but I don't really talk about anything this kind of specific. And the first place I want to start off is I'm 20 years old and I already have everything that I want. And everything that I want and need, I already have. I know you're probably like, whoa, that's a bold statement. Why is he making that claim? Well, to start off, I started living on my own at the age of 18 years old, which you probably already know. But the thing is I've learned a lot of lessons over these past 2.5 years. And something that I've always told myself and that I've always been, and something that's always been going through my mind is, how can I reach that next step? How can I get more money? How can I get more status? How can I get more of these items? Things such as, you could say, rich cars, you know, I wanna get a mansion, I wanna travel the world, all these cool luxury things that everybody wants. And there's a reason why people go into self-improvement to begin with. All these things I obviously have always wanted. And of course it'd be cool if I had a lot of these things, but I'm at the point now where I already have everything that I want. And even when it comes to just ego and status, I already have everything that I need. And this is kind of a mindset shift that I've been trying to implement into my life recently, is if you are trying to chase specific objects or a specific status or a specific ego or mindset, if you are trying to grab and grab and grab, then you're actually pursuing something in which you lack, which if done properly and if done with the right mindset, of course, you should have goals that you're working towards trying to improve yourself. But the average person lives with the sin of greed every single day. They're always wanting more. They're never happy with what they have, which leads me on to the next point is, how have I achieved everything that I need and want at the age of 20? And it's a simple mindset of just telling myself, I already have everything that I could ever ask for. I mean, think about it. I have a roof over my head. You know, I have food. I have water. I have the basic human essentials I need to just survive, which is more than enough. But to add on top of that, one, it's my house. Second off, you know, I have an amazing office. I've created such a great environment for myself. And there's just all these small little bonuses that just pile up on each other. And it's super easy to get caught in a state of greed and just basically feeling as if I need more. I want to, this isn't enough for me. And you can always strive to be better. You can always strive to get more, but it should not come from a state of greed, because what I've noticed is anytime I really want something, sometimes I can catch myself almost taking a shortcut for it. And if I'm just gonna take shortcuts, not actually put in the work and effort and discipline that's needed, then that's basically just me sinning. And as some of you guys know, I'm not the most religious person. I'm more spiritual, but I believe all religions are true to a certain extent. And so I am big on, like, I guess you could say, like, the greed of sin, or I guess you say like sins, if that makes sense. Like, greed is, it's an awful thing to have, because if you are always craving that dopamine, and I understand why, because the average person, you know, they're just living life. They're craving dopamine. They want more. You know, realistically, if you're always greedy, then you're never gonna have enough. The whole meaning of greed is wanting everything that you lack. But you need to tell yourself that you already have everything. You have everything that you could possibly want in life. You have the ability to take action. Like, if you're watching this video right now, you have the ability to take action. I know that you have a roof over your head. You're not gonna watch this video if you don't, if you don't go to bed every night, you know, and whether it's a bed, a couch, you know, you have a place to sleep. I know for a fact you're getting water, and I know for a fact you have food. And if I'm wrong, prove me wrong in the comments. But because if you lack these things, you want to be on this video. So I know I'm talking to the right person. So you already have everything that you could possibly need in life. And you need to also change it to not just what you need, but what you want. You should be craving, you know, positive experiences within yourself rather than positive experiences through other people or objects. You know, I'm in my 20s, so of course the average guy, they're gonna want attraction from all these other girls and things like that, right? And, you know, unless you swing the other way, nothing wrong with that. But a lot of people, they want attraction from other girls. And if you're chasing that, then you're not gonna live a happy life, because you're chasing ego from other people. At that point, you're just lusting. You're still greeding over that, and that's not something that you want to do with your life. It's gonna drive down a dark path, and you're never gonna feel fulfilled or actually ever hit a point in life where you are genuinely wanting to get to. And I used to have this mindset myself where I'm stuck in the matrix. I'm stuck in the rat race. You know, I have to escape the matrix. You know, that kind of, I don't know if I could say his name, but that kind of Andrew Tate mindset, or just these basic gimmicky self-improvement influencer mindset where you have to escape. But the thing is, you can never really escape. Here's the thing, with more money, more problems, more more responsibility, more things that you have to keep up with. With self-improvement, you know, the more you take care of your body, the more upkeep it's gonna be. The more you grow your business, the more upkeep with your business that you're gonna have to manage with. And so the thing is it's not about escaping the rat race or escaping the matrix, as people call it. It's about escaping your mind. It's about reframing the way that you view life and how you approach every single day. Do you wake up approaching every day from a state of love? Are you approaching every day with a state of grace and gratefulness, you know, happy with the privilege to be able to experience life and its challenges? Because I'm telling you right now, most likely you're probably not. And I'm not saying I'm perfect and I wake up every day thinking this way either. I best believe I don't. But you can always start. You can always change your mindset and start thinking that way now. The only time, in my own opinion, and once again, take everything I say with a grain of salt, but the only time I feel as if it's completely fine to complain about life and complain about the way things are is if you don't have basic living functions. If something is hindering you from surviving. But most likely you're stressing about things that don't really matter. You're probably over stressing about status. You're stressing about not having the latest clothing. You're stressing about the amount of likes you're getting on social media, the amount of followers you have, the amount of clout, the fact that, you know, women are attracted to you or men are attracted to you if you're a girl or vice versa, you know, whatever the case is. You're probably stressing about things that are just bonuses in life. Of course, there's nothing wrong with trying to get these things and wanting them, but this shouldn't be your sole purpose on why you are living life. The whole point of this video is you should not live with a state of greed and you should be happy with what you have now, because the fact that you're living right now is a privilege. The fact that you are existing right now in this present timeline is a privilege. I'm sure you've seen the new AI recently, but we are living in some crazy times right now. Like the rate of civilization evolving, right? The rate of civilization evolving is growing at an exponential rate, and it's absolutely insane. No one in history has lived during this time except for you. You are living in the best time to be alive, and that's a privilege. That is a blessing. I know a lot of times it's like, well, but my life is bad, blah, blah, this and that. Well, here's the thing. If you don't like your life, it is a privilege to experience one. It's a privilege because not everybody can. And I'm telling you right now, things will get better because greed comes from a state of suppression within yourself. You're telling yourself, I don't have this, so I need that. And the same thing with negative energy. If you feel as if your life isn't good, understand, how can you know what good feels like if you don't know what bad feels like? And this could come from whether you grow up in a poor neighborhood or a rich neighborhood, right? If you're growing up in a poor neighborhood, you want to know what it feels like to be rich. And if you're born in a rich neighborhood, you don't know what it's like to feel poor. I'm not saying that they want to feel poor, but they have nothing to compare it to where they grow up in life being spoiled. Now, obviously that's a very generic scenario and it varies person to person. My point is, you cannot know what life is like to feel good if you don't know what it's like to feel bad. So life is a roller coaster. It's gonna go up and down. Life is boring if it's all gonna be just one standard line. So even if you're going through a rough time right now, understand things are going to get better. Believe me, I've been through so many rough times living on my own, but I'm still here and I'm working on myself. What I've found is by trying to improve myself, it's almost like a game. There's no cheat codes. There's no easy way. Like improving myself takes discipline, time, patience, but it's also fun because especially once you start seeing results, it's actually crazy. I'm kind of rambling, but the point is, you need to stop being greedy when it comes to things. You already have everything that you want in life. Even if you look at other people and you're comparing yourself to them, once again, you are wanting something in which you lack, and that's not a good thing because I know this is very contradictory. There's nothing wrong with wanting something, but wanting it because you lack it is the bigger issue. It's the intention on why you want something. Do you want something for status, or do you want something just because, you know, it's good for you, it's healthy? You know, there's so many different examples, but I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much gonna sum it up for our video. I'm trying to post kind of consistently. If you want me to talk about a specific topic, let me know. I think it'd be cool if I kind of talked about the 7 deadly sins. This is the first one, is going over greed and why it's bad and what you should and how you should be thinking. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for being here. Don't want to take too long with the outro. Subscribe, smash that like button, comment how happy you are on a scale from 1 to 10, because no one's happier than me, because I'm the happiest person that ever walked this earth.